Hello and welcome. Welcome back to Coffee Talk. We've got, I think it's 5 more days. So let's just get into it. Sorry, we're not open yet. Oh, Neil. You've come very early today. Is there anything I can help you with? There is definitely something that you can do. What is it? Can we work here? Excuse me, what? Is it possible for us to work here? What? Why? We have learned that something precious since we first arrived here. Communication is very important on Earth. And Earthlings communicate in a very complicated way. It blows our mind to learn that you need to mix between verbal and non-verbal communication here. Yes, but I can see that your communication skill has improved an awful lot since you arrived. That is true, but it is not enough. Some of the biggest lessons about Earthlings we have learned them here. Speaking of lessons, do we have a new story for today? The only reason to learn how to fly. Still by Freya. I'm waiting for one of these stories to be not by Freya. It happened again. I told her as I exhaled smoke. What? I took the train once to get here and fell in love twice. Not this again. She sighed, looking like she wanted to stub her own cigarette out on my face. I just can't help it. She said nothing. It's way easier, you know, seeing someone from afar, letting your imagination roam as you daydream about how he or she lives, ignoring the fact that what you see is not the way they really are. It's way easier. You can't keep doing this to yourself, you know? You need something real. I mean, this might be a terrible suggestion, but you're still using that dating app, right? Try to be more open-minded while you use it. I agree. Good. I agree that it was a terrible suggestion. Oh, hey! Dylan! I thought you were gonna be, living it up at the park or whatever today. I couldn't blame her. It's not like this was the first time we'd talked about this. In fact, this conversation tended to happen around once a season. You need to stop overthinking. Go out. Stop putting impossible expectations on people. You know I can't do that. I've tried. I get overexcited at any opportunity. Oh, you did go out, but you came home early. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you made it home in time for the stream. Gonna be probably a nice long one. If the first 2 parts of this were any indicator. We've got another about 4 hours or so left in this game, unless the later days start to get short. Which would put me finishing up not too long before Cupcake's supposed to start. You'll watch as long as you can? Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And how has that served you so far? Now, I was the one who said nothing. I'm afraid, she said. Of what? Of what will come later. I'm afraid that even if I find the right person for me, the people around me won't accept them, whoever they are. Who cares about what they think? I could be jailed for that? What? Okay. What happened to you recently? She took a long drag of her cigarette and narrowed her eyes. Huh? You don't usually overthink quite this much, so something must have happened. Truth is, something did happen, something silly to even be discussed. But she knew me. She knew about my problems, so I told her. I watched a stand-up comedy show. Seriously? It's true. I watched one of my favorite stand-up comedians. I knew he'd recently got married to someone he loves. Someone I thought was very similar to him. All this time, I thought he took the easy way out, finding someone who'd quickly be accepted by the family he was born in, and the family he's about to make. But it turned out his journey was far from easy. There were hardships I never knew he faced. And when he talked about it, it scared me. Why? The fact that I'll have to deal with it someday? The fact that I might have to choose between... I sighed. At least when I see people on the train and imagine a life with them, those imaginary people don't create these kinds of problems. They do create a different kind of problem, though. She's right. You know, sometimes I feel like I want to go to the tallest building in the city and just jump. I said, to die? That's not to fly, you fool. Fly, you fool! Because if that really happened, all the things that are scaring me won't matter. I can fly. Why would I still care about all these boring everyday problems? Ain't that the dream, weirdo? She said as she lit another cigarette, leaving the discussion unresolved until it comes back around with the spring rains. What was the name of that story? The only reason to learn how to fly. Weird. Hey, Sage! Thanks for the lurk. Glad you could at least make it here for a lurk. You can finally chat on Soup streams. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that she found the setting that was preventing you from being able to chat. So that's going to be exciting. We learned them here. This made us think, instead of focusing on finding a breeding partner, we should focus on learning how to communicate with Earthlings properly. Sounds like a good strategy. That is why we ask you to allow us to work here. Because you want to interact with our customers? That is correct. I'm not sure about this. Neil, normally, if you are applying for a job on Earth, you have to go through certain processes before you can finally get the job. If you get it at all. Oh. Let me think this over if you don't mind. And I'll let you know tomorrow. Oh, no. We are sorry for our spontaneity, but it has to be today. May I know why? Because we are leaving for an event tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Thank you. But with one condition. You won't be making any drinks. I'll handle that. Once I'm done, you will give the cup to the customer. Understood. There are other things you need to keep in mind. What is that? Dealing with the customers. Some people just come here to just chill. Or perhaps lurk, you might even say. They may just come for a drink, work, or to read something. I strongly suggest you let them be. But always be prepared if they want to talk about anything. How can we know whether people want to be left alone or not? That won't be easy. But you'll be able to judge based on their body language. Non-verbal signs. Yes. That will be very hard for us. Indeed. Don't worry. I'll give you a sign. When you should start talking, or when you should stop. Thank you. We will need that so much. Well, that's basically all you need to do here. Do we need a special outfit to do the job? Not really. I'll lend you an apron, though, to help keep your suit clean, and to differentiate you from the customers. You don't really need more differentiation, but it will make you look more legit for the job. That is a very Earthling thing to do. It is. Alright then. Are you ready for this? We are. Okay. Let's start the night. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Holy wow! What the hell is happening? Good evening, Miss Freya. Hey, Ninja, what's going on here? Well, Neil is working here tonight. And I thought I was the one who brought bad news. I never thought this place would be ground zero for an alien invasion. Nah, it's not that. Neil's just helping out. You've never looked like someone who needs help. There are a few things to clarify, Miss Freya. First, our mission was never about conquering Earth. In fact, it is the other way around. Second, judging from the situation, we are actually the person who is getting help from the barista, not the other way around. What? We have learned some things since we arrived, and we came to a conclusion. Before starting another breeding mission, we should learn more about how Earthlings communicate. We thought this place was the best place to learn. And you just agreed to this? On one condition. I make the drinks. Neil will only be here to serve and communicate. Fair trade. What's in it for you, then? What? You're helping them here. What do you get in return? Now that you mention it, if there's anything you want from us, please do not hesitate to ask. Don't mention it. Well, maybe they can be my next story. I can write an article about your work here. Freya, if I still need to write for the paper again... What happened? The chief found out. Oh? Is that why you didn't come yesterday? Yes. How did you find out? You remember my fateful meeting with the higher-up in the elevator? Yes. The same thing happened with my chief. They met each other in the lift, and the higher-up mentioned our encounter to her. The chief called me into her office, and things went downhill from there. She realized immediately that it was the reason for my poor performance lately. She didn't like it, of course. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you gonna do now? Write the novel, I guess. And after that? Hope that it sells well. If not, yeah, I don't know. We do not understand what is really happening, Miss Freya, but we feel the immense sadness and frustration you feel. How about a warm cup of drink? Ah, yes, a warm cup of drink. It is on the house. Huh? You are allowed to do that? We will pay for the drink. No, it's okay. It's on the house. That was a nice thing to do, Neil. That was the best thing to do according to our senses. You fell asleep watching Lord of the Rings last night? It's quite the marathon to watch through all those movies in one sitting. Even if you're just watching the 3 Lord of the Rings movies and none of the extra 3 animated or 3 Hobbits. How far did you make it? It wasn't boring, you just got tired. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's boring, no. By no means are the Lord of the Rings movies boring. But 9 to 25 hours of sitting in one place, just watching stuff, can just be tiring in general, regardless of how exciting or boring the content is. One hour of the first movie. That definitely sounds like you were very tired. So, what do you want to drink, Miss Freya? Your favorite. Our favorite. Anything. I trust you with the decision. Well, in that case, let's give you a Milky Way, since that's the one thing. That's the one thing that Neil actually could taste. You'll watch it during the day next time? Yeah, it makes sense. Here is your drink. Especially crafted by the owner of this coffee shop. Well, who else is gonna brew it? Thank you so much for this. I always wondered why your place only served hot drinks. But today, I might have an idea why. How far along are you with this novel? I can prepare the draft in a few days, I think. Now that I don't really need to care about other deadlines. And if I manage to infuse some coffee and creativity into my blood. That sounds doable. Even without the caffeine infusion. Excuse me, Miss Freya. We have learned extensively about Earthlings' bodies, about all the races, and we do not think infusing your blood with coffee would be advisable. I'm sorry, Neil. I'm not really in the mood for this sort of conversation. It was just... Neil? Freya wasn't serious about infusing herself with coffee. Oh. We are glad to hear that, then. That was a figure of speech, Neil. Ah, we have heard about that term. It is still very hard to understand your language. It will always be hard. Languages will keep on changing. Understood. At least, we are here now to learn the basics of how Earthlings communicate. Miss Freya, if we may ask... Ask away. How fast do you write? Not fast enough, apparently. But do you have numbers? Numbers? How many words do you produce per day? I don't think I have the exact number. But full-time, I should be able to write between 3,000 and 5,000 words per day. That's a lot. That's raw. After that, I still need to edit it. I usually end up with about half of what I originally wrote. According to our research, the standard number of words for the thing you need to write is between 50 and 100,000. That's right. But for this draft, I don't need to write that much. That is a pleasant information to hear. How many words do you need to write? Let's see. I think it should be around 15,000 words. That's pretty big for a pitch draft. Well, it's GRA Media, the biggest publisher around. If we count based on the number of words, it seems like you will be able to achieve your target easily. I wish. Writing isn't only about the number of words, Neil. It requires things outside the mere word count. If we only judged writers by their ability to write a large number of words, then we wouldn't have poetry or short stories. that is pretty hard to understand. But we learned beforehand that art is a difficult matter, even for Earthlings. Yep. Earthlings seem to have a fascination for things which are hard to understand, from languages to arts. Right again! But you're not that wrong about writing, you know? Word count is just one of the few things you can objectively judge a story by. It's not the most important thing, but it's still up there. So, is it still a valid parameter? Definitely. Cool. That didn't sound at all like you, Neil. I guess you really are learning something on Earth. Oh, another guest. Good evening, Miss Myrtle. I won't even ask. Except for one thing. Who's making the drinks? I'm still the one responsible for that. Good. Coffee with a little bit of ginger, please. Coffee, ginger. What? That's a thing. It's got a name. That's a new one. Coffee, ginger. Your order is ready. Ooh. What's the brewpad say about it? Ginger presides over the ground coffee at the bottom of the cup, originally from Indonesia. Neat. Also, while I'm in here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's currently the 10th day. Was 100% sure. Not bad. Thanks. You are welcome. What brings you here today, Miss Myrtle? Psst. Neil, some people come to a coffee shop just to sit without being disturbed. Oh, that definitely seems to fit Miss Myrtle's visit here. Actually, I'm not here to just sit without being disturbed. Ah, pardon us. I was just training Neil in how to talk with customers here. I can see that. You're still trying to get laid? Oh. No, we are not. We are tasked with learning how Earthlings communicate with each other. Yeah, that's a step in the right direction. One suggestion, if you want to blend in with us. Stop using such formal language. Start talking the way we talk. Start listening the way we listen. Which essentially is not really listening at all. That would be very difficult to achieve. but we will try, step by step. One small step for you might be one giant leap for your kind. That was nicely said, Miss Freya. By the way, Miss Myrtle, now that we know you are not here for your usual activities, are you here for someone, then? Yeah. Oh, is it Aqua? Uh-huh. What's the occasion? No special occasion. It's just... Well, that was a slam. I'm sorry. I'm late. I was supposed to leave early, but... What is this? What is happening here? I already told the barista to call the cops when he's he was going to breed here. What? It's time to breed here. Where is Ninja? Miss Aqua, please relax. I'm here. Oh, you're safe. Yes, everything is fine. Okay. Please let me take a breath. Here, please drink this water. Feeling better now? Yes. I'm sorry. It is all right, Miss Aqua. Everyone has been surprised to see me here. What are you doing here anyway? We are starting to think that we might need to make a recording for the answer to this question. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. No problem, Miss Aqua. It is time for our break anyway, so here is the deal. That's really interesting. Very nice of you to do this, Ninja. It's nothing really. But do you think one day is enough to learn everything? Definitely not. But we do not want to disturb this place's business for any longer. As if this place cares about business. Besides, we want to travel around the planet more. This coffee shop is a good start, but we cannot limit ourselves to just this place. Where do you want to go after this? Coachella. What? What are you going to do at Coachella? According to our research, there are many breedings happening during Coachella. That is why we decided that the event will be our next target. Well, you're not wrong. But didn't you say the baby has to be born out of love? Yes, we noticed that. But we also noticed that we need to know a lot more about Earthlings, including the breeding manners. That is what we will study in Coachella. After that, we will be very ready to breed with so many female Earthlings. I shouldn't say this, but hell. That sounds like the best plan you've had since you got here. We know. We also surprised ourselves. But please, Miss Freya, let us stop talking about our plan. We work here today. First, let us return to our spot behind the bar. So our discussion with Miss Myrtle was stopped abruptly. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What are you two doing together? It's nothing. We're just friends, you know? We just want to hang out and talk about our work. We were both working the same field, remember? Yes, that's it. I don't have that much experience in game development, you see. I thought your research was in computer graphics. Yes, but I've never made a game from scratch before. I was always a bystander. So I've been asking Myrtle for feedback from time to time. Today, I wanted to thank her directly. But she arrived first, so I couldn't buy her a drink. Never mind that. I'd refuse it anyway. But... wait. If you want to thank her directly, does it mean you're done with the game? Excuse me, Miss Freya. It should be your, not your. Oh, so you are correcting my grammar now, huh? It was a slip of the tongue, okay? I'm sorry. How'd you even pick up on that anyway? It's not like what I'm saying is written down anywhere. We just know. Back to you, Aqua. So, you're done with your game? There's quite a lot of things I need to polish and fix, but players can enjoy the experience from start to finish. What kind of feedback do you give people for a video game? Yeah, it depends on the game. In Aqua's case, most of my advice was about the pacing, control, and UI, UX. It must be fun to have finished working on your creation. It surely removed some of the weight on my chest, just to replace it with another weight. You mean there's still more to come after you're done? I'm not done with my book. I just lost my job. And I can't finish this draft on... And if I can't finish this draft on time, I'm done. And even after all that, if it doesn't sell well, I'm even more done. Doubly done. I'm sorry to hear that, Freya. But please, be more confident. I'm even starting to doubt myself. I read some of your short stories, you know. After our first meeting, I subscribed to the Evening Whispers app. And I read some of the stuff you wrote. They're really good, you know. Some of them are better than others, but it's still an enjoyable experience to read them. I'm so excited to check out your book once it's done. Yeah, I read them all too. I'd say they were all pretty good. Some were a bit strange, but overall, entertaining. You're too kind, Aqua. What you're going through is more or less the same as what Myrtle's going through, so I'm sure you'll both be fine. Yeah. You don't have to talk about it in front of other people. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. It's just that sharing is caring, you know? Okay. Thank you for helping me share with other people. I really am sorry. I know. I said thanks already, right? But you put so much emphasis on share. That's sarcasm, I know that. Aqua. I'm sorry if it sounded that way. But yeah, I kinda get what you're dealing with. Although it's a bit different for me. What's your problem? Burnout. I've been working on something for 2 years straight. But no one outside the office knows about it. And those who do don't seem to appreciate it at all. I thought Full Metal Conflict had a new game every 2 years. Yes. I don't really work on them. Not directly. So what do you work on? A secret project. I'll tell you under Friendier, okay? Alright. I'm not with the paper anymore anyway. I'm part of a special team. We're tasked with making a breakthrough in the studio. We need to be able to make a prototype for a new IP. Or worst case, another FMC game in a different genre. Isn't that a dream job for some people? Heh. That's what I thought at first. You're a writer, right? Imagine being a writer, but you can't publish anything you write for years. That doesn't sound like a pleasant situation at all. My team's been making pitches, dozens of them, hundreds, thousands. Out of all those countless pitches, only a handful got approved for prototyping. And so far, none of the prototypes have been approved. Ouch! There's only 7 of us on the team. The 7 Samurai, that's what they said. So you haven't released anything for the last 2 years? Sometimes our team works to support each other. Or just to support others. When they're going through a crunch cycle, they need to hit an almost impossible target, we jump in. No wonder you folks were considered the 7 Samurai. I guess, yeah. By the way, Myrtle, I just realized. What? Usually developers get their vacation time after finishing a project, right? More or less, yeah. When was the last time you had a vacation? Before I joined this company, I guess. That's like 4 years ago! Good grief, Myrtle! You need a vacation! Uh-huh. Dude, no wonder you're so burnt out. Yes, that's why! You need a vacation! But I can't just take one. You can! In fact, you will do it tomorrow! But tomorrow is... I'm not done yet. You will take tomorrow, the day after, and another day after off. But where should I go? Don't worry, I'll take care of that. You will? I'm going with you for this long weekend vacation. What about Max West? That's not this weekend. Forget about it for now. Hey, okay. But I can't do it tomorrow. How about starting Friday? It's still a long weekend getaway, right? Alright. Oh, I'm so excited. Wow, Aqua. You look like a different person. Really? I'm sorry. Don't be. Okay, it's settled then. I need to go home now and prepare for our getaway. I'll come with you. To my apartment? No, we'll walk together to the bus stop, just like last time. Okay then. Everyone, see you next week, okay? Have fun. Take care out there. May you find your joy during your vacation. Okay, see you folks later. Oh, well, that was certainly something. Vacation, huh? You definitely need one, Freya. I know, but not now. I've got to finish this draft first. As we have said before, you can do it, Miss Freya. Thanks, Neil. Anyway, you going to close anytime soon? Depends. Why? I'm in the mood for some writing. Then please, take your time. You sure? Do you want another drink to be going on with? Still on the house. I definitely won't say no. Masala chai. I think I already made that, didn't I? Yeah. Spiced tea from Southern Asia. That was tea, ginger, and cinnamon. Today is the 11th day. Friday, October 2nd, 2020. What's today's newspaper got? The Evening Whispers is with the people for stricter gun laws. New, healthier Fury sedative might be available sooner. Nice. And action video game Rising Hell. Blamed for violence in schools. Oh no. Violent video games. Ah, the old classic. What is this, the 90s? Welcome. Good evening, Mr. Baileys. Evening. Am I the first customer tonight? You are? That's new. Freya's not here? She said she's coming later tonight. Got something to do with meeting some fellow writer friends. Speaking of Freya, though, we have a new story. We do have a... She's not working for the paper anymore, but she still wrote some stuff for the paper that hadn't been printed yet, I guess? Happily Ever After, Ever After, Ever After, Part 1. Oh, this is a Part 1. This is quite the long scroll. Well, here we go. Do I want to grow old with you? No, I don't want to do that. But do I want to be with you, here in this moment, stuck in eternal limbo, in an infinite loop of this exact hour, forever? Hell yeah, I do. That's probably the last time Romeo remembers having a really meaningful conversation with Juliet. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, dear readers. Just like any other story, this one also has a beginning, and it begins with an introduction. Romeo is a young man of 20. He comes from quite a conservative, but not yet out-of-touch family. In other words, they're just like almost every other family in the world. He hates the name his parents gave him, and he hates it even more, knowing that his life so far is fulfilling all the cliches of his fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a girl named Juliet is really just the icing on the cliched cake. Juliet is a young woman of 20. She also comes from a quite conservative but not yet out-of-touch family. In other words, they're also just like almost every other family in the world. She loves the name her parents gave her, although she hates the fact that her life so far is fulfilling half the cliches of her fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a boy named Romeo is unfortunate, but she has no plans to die over it. Both of them study at the same university, and they're definitely not the type of people who'd naturally choose to be friends. Fate, however, in the form of a hip young lecturer with an overenthusiasm for assigning group projects and an unfortunate sense of humor, is what brings them together. A simple group assignment is what introduces our young Romeo and Juliet to each other. Even after their first fated meeting, and many, many more meetings required to finish the assignment, there's no sign that Romeo means anything more to Juliet than a friendly acquaintance. She's spent a lot of time in the library with... Nor, honestly, does she mean that much more to him. In fact, after she made an ill-judged joke about the literary elephant in the room, she probably means significantly less. But, as time goes on, and as the group assignments keep coming, without the lecturer even assigning new partners, Romeo and Juliet become closer. They both begin to see things in the other that they hadn't noticed before. Though for Romeo, that fact is rather frightening. How could I fall for somebody like her, and named Juliet no less? I can't accept it. My mind's just playing tricks on me. Again and again, around and around, his thoughts chased themselves whenever he sees her. The day is Monday, and Romeo has a class he needs to attend. However, something is different. Normally, a relatively anxious fellow, he finds going to class requires a lot of willpower. Today, however, he finds himself hurrying to get there. He knows why, of course, but he refuses to admit it to himself quite yet. The first thing Romeo does when he opens the door is to look at a specific table, the table where Juliet always sits. To his unacknowledged disappointment, the table is empty. Romeo mutters under his breath. He doesn't curse because Juliet is not there, of course. Rather, he curses because noticing this was the first thing he did upon entering the room. After sitting in his usual place, Romeo reopens his book and begins reading. Every time someone opens the door, Romeo turns immediately to look and quietly whispers a curse. Again, he's not cursing because he is disappointed it is not Juliet who enters. He is cursing because he turned to look. A few minutes before the class begins, Juliet finally arrives, announcing herself and her friend with a braying laugh as she does so. That sound used to be one of the most annoying sounds in the world, at least as far as Romeo was concerned. But today it brings a small smile to his face. Romeo curses again, after he realizes he just smiled at the sound. Is Romeo in love? He probably is, but he doesn't want to admit that. Falling in love with Juliet is dangerous, extremely dangerous. They come from completely different backgrounds. They have different skin colors and they worship different gods. He has no problem with interracial relationships. Of course he doesn't. But he never expected it to happen to him. This simply will not do. I need to talk to you. Romeo looks up. Juliet is standing over his table. Her jaw is set, but her eyes are worried, and he completely forgets all about his own problems. What's up? He asks. Can you keep a secret? It's really important. Sure, I guess I can. Good enough, because I really need someone to talk to. So Juliet sits down and begins telling her story to Romeo. She talks about the problems she's been facing over the past few months, how they affect her study, about how he's not the first person she's talked to about this, on, and Romeo listens to every word. Eventually, Juliet stops talking and sits quietly. Romeo thinks that she looks somehow lighter than she did before she began talking. He doesn't know how to react to what she's told him. He tries giving her some advice. Terrible advice, he thinks, as soon as he said it. But he believes it's probably much better than just listening and nodding and watching her walk away. He doesn't think he wants her to walk away from him. He thinks about this. One thing is for sure, Juliet trusts Romeo as a friend. They've shared a secret now, even though Juliet has shared the same secret with others before him. This still makes Romeo happy. So happy. How pathetic am I, being happy because someone I like came and told me she's not. Romeo thinks, and then shakes his head like a dog shaking off water. After sharing everything she had wanted to share, Juliet starts talking about lighter topics. Soon they are joking freely, and the dark mood of earlier almost completely dissipated. Just before Juliet leaves, Romeo asks her something. Why did you tell me all that? Well, I don't really know. I think I can trust you, and you're one of those rare few people who can talk to people directly without sugarcoating everything. It's refreshing, she shrugs. I guess that's why. What Juliet said is true, but Romeo finds it amusing that even though he normally speaks directly to everyone he knows, he can't do that with Juliet. He is not himself when she's around, or so he believes. After that conversation, Romeo falls even more helplessly in love with Juliet. This is a lot. There's a lot of reading. It's foolish, he thinks, as someone who rarely falls so hard for anyone. But Juliet is driving him crazy. And the fact that she makes him feel the closest thing to love he's felt in years, yet a big wall of cultural norms and other societal traditions stand between them, hurts him even more. That is, of course, if Juliet is even into him anyway. As weeks go by, Juliet and Romeo become closer. They start telling each other stories more often. But all of these stories are limited to their courses, their friends, and anything at all besides their feelings for each other. She's not into me. She's just an extrovert. She's friendly with everyone, Romeo keeps thinking. And it's when he's thinking about that suddenly Juliet comes and sits at his table. So, you said you wanted to tell me something? It's true. He has already sent a message to Juliet telling her he wanted to talk about something. Oh, wow! Diving straight in. It's nothing all that important, actually, says Romeo. Come on! It's not like you to be so indirect about things. What's wrong with you, boyo? Romeo actually called Juliet to talk about her attitude recently. She's been weird, at least in Romeo's eyes. and it feels like she's getting further away, removing herself from many students' activities she'd usually partake in. Juliet answers all his questions, all his thoughts and concerns about how she seems to be removing herself from all other side activities. She manages to shrug off or easily explain, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm obsessing over every single thing she does, thinks Romeo, while a pit opens up in his gut at the thought. Is that all? Anything else you want to say? She questions him. Fair is fair, after all. Do you know that I used to like you? The words come out of Romeo's mouth out of the blue. He's horrified, even as he recognizes that it's a lie. He still likes her now. He doesn't even know why he decided to confess his feelings right at this random moment. Never mind why he confessed with half a lie. It wasn't planned at all. But when he heard Juliet say, anything else? Well, it's definitely one thing Romeo has been planning to say to Juliet for the last few thousand eons, or as normal humans measure time, since around 8 months ago. Juliet shows a flash of surprise and then says, No, I had no idea at all. Why? Why what? Why do you like me? Or did you like me? I mean, there must be a reason. Oh, of course there is. Romeo opens his mouth to tell her and pauses. He blinks slowly and closes his mouth again. Or not, I don't know. I think there is, but I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I'm talking gibberish. Juliet does not respond to that. Romeo doesn't even dare to look at her directly. But he can see out of the corner of his eye that she looks dumbfounded. He takes a breath and opens his mouth again, hoping for a lightning strike, divine inspiration, or instant death. He isn't picky. Okay, I see you as a really strong person, okay? You have a big girly side, but you're also a really strong, independent person. Okay, I get the girly part, but what makes you think I'm strong? Well, just look at how you work with all of your assignments and organizations. I definitely could never deal with everything as well as you do. Ever. Oh, come on. Everybody has something they're good at. You can do things I can't. That's pretty normal, you know? I know, but still, I'm not sure that's probably what attracts me to you the most. When he says that, Romeo tries looking at Juliet just for a moment. He saw a twitch of a smile on her lips, but dared not even hope. He ascribes it to his imagination instead. So what's next then? Asks Juliet. To be honest, I don't know. I just said this because I can't keep hiding it forever. I needed to say it to you even though I know it's impossible for me to ask you out, considering all the differences between us. Juliet pauses. Oh, of course. You don't need to say anything, though. I just needed to get it out of my system. That's all I wanted to say. Well, okay then. I have something else to do. You don't have anything more to say, right? Yes, that's all. Juliet nods and says goodbye, then quickly walks away. After Juliet leaves, Romeo lets out a heavy sigh. Good work there. That's one hell of a lot of old baggage I just let go. And a whole hell of a lot of new baggage I replaced it with. Here's an interesting fact about our Romeo. During the whole conversation, he hadn't been able to keep himself from shaking. It's an old habit that he just can't let go of. To his relief, they'd been sitting during the whole conversation, so he could hide his tremor. Still, even though he feels intense relief after telling Juliet about his feelings. His hands are still trembling. He has to wait a couple of minutes before he can walk away himself. So now, after Romeo's long-awaited but ultimately useless confession, what's next for our Juliet and her Romeo? Funnily enough, neither she nor Romeo ever mention it again, at least not to each other. Romeo did eventually tell some of his friends about his feelings for Juliet. But what about Juliet? Romeo didn't know anything about how she was coping with this revelation. He expected that she'd probably told some of her friends, as he had told his. But that doesn't even matter, he tells himself. We're not meant for each other anyway. Watching from the outside, nothing seems to change between them. They still talk about their classes, about their friends, about shows they've watched, and books they've read. But they will never ever mention again the time when Romeo revealed his feelings to Juliet. At first, Romeo had thought that confessing his feelings would mean letting go of a big boulder inside his heart. As it turned out, it only transformed the boulder into a restless rock monster, asking for more. Eventually, he realizes letting Juliet know about his feelings isn't enough. He needs to have her. He wants to hold her tight. He wants to stare into her eyes and tell her he loves her to Pluto and back. He wants to hear her say, "I love you too." He wants to kiss her. He wants to run away with her to a place where no one cares about their differences and just sees them as a cute couple in love. He wants to do all good things in life together with her. And more than anything on this earth, he simply wants her. The feeling is killing him. How could she be acting normally after that revelation? Does it mean his feelings mean nothing to her at all? The peak of his emotions come one day when our hero is falling asleep suddenly. His body is drenched in sweat. His heart beats too fast, and his thoughts only run to one thing: Juliet. He wants, no, nothing so prosaic. He needs Juliet. He doesn't care about anything else, about traditions, about their families, about anything. There's only one thing he needs to do tomorrow, and that is to confess his feelings again to Juliet. This time, however, he is going to ask her out. If she feels the same way, he will ask her to just give it a try and fight the world together. He resolves that he is going to take a leap of faith, and it will be the first thing he does the next time they meet. To be continued. Whoa. Welcome back. You missed this story. It's quite the story. Happily Ever After, Ever After, Ever After, Part 1. I think it's genuinely the longest thing that Frank has written. Yeah, it's the smallest scroll bar. Got something to do with meeting some fellow writer friends. Why not do it here? It's her favorite place, right? Her friends have visited this place from time to time, just not as much as her. Writers' gathering, huh? I wonder what writers talk about when they're hanging out. I've known them for some years now. She has this habit, you know. If she said they're friends, it means they're just hanging out normally. But if she said they were writer friends, they're probably talking about work. Either giving each other feedback on their latest drafts, or sharing and validating ideas. Interesting. They even use code words for Meetup. Oh, it's not like that. She doesn't even realize that's what she says. I just picked up on it. That's even more interesting. Are you always so observant? Yeah, it's part of the job. Why is that? People come here every day. Some of them aren't as talkative as others, but their body language can be loud and clear. It can tell you a lot of things. Whether they need a friendly ear, or just want to be alone. It applies to what they're ordering as well, because, sometimes what people want is not what they need. That's deeper than I would have thought. So, what are you reading from me now? I won't say. Why? That would break the charm. What the hell was that? I guess I can say this much. Whatever I say or do to our customers, it's always related to what I'm getting from their body language. Including our interaction now? Including our interaction now. Man. Now I see why you didn't want to share. Even that was enough for me to... enough to make me feel like I'm naked in front of you. By the way, I haven't ordered anything. What are you having tonight? Hot chocolate. With ginger and cinnamon. I heard that's a good drink for a bitter heart. Hot chocolate. With ginger and cinnamon. Ooh, Bitter Heart is actually the drink name! Neat! Chocolate, ginger, cinnamon. I like the little, broken heart drawn in there. Order up! Here you go. What's the brew pad say? This one. Shadows that will help you try to hide. Just curious. I'm 4 coffees short, 2 teas, 3 green teas, 2 chocolates, and 2 milks. And we just got the last bar on Bailey's. So I've got Gala's got 1 bar left, Rachel's got 1 bar left, and that's it. Otherwise everybody's maxed out. Favorite thing. Punk, been listening to Pumpkin Spice since I was a wee lad. What I've been doing with my life. Escaping bloodlines. Experiencing life one color at a time. One day I'll have my own solo exhibition. Oh. That's nice. It's nice, Bailey's. Well, here you go. You're a pretty romantic person, huh? Spending extra time decorating this drink. Only for special people and special drinks. Say, Ninja, tell me about yourself. What do you want to know? Anything. How old are you? Old enough to open a coffee shop. Oh man. I guess I should say sorry for asking that. It's alright. But that's the only answer I can give. Now you're making me wonder. What should I ask next? No! Freya! No! Oh, was it that bad? Did your writer friends tear your story piece by piece apart? Oh. Hello, everyone! Why are you both looking at me like that? Freya, you look horrible. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to echo our dear barista. Yeah, you do. What happened? You'd be better asking what didn't happen. Because the answer would be proper sleep and decent progress on my draft. You need to rest. And miss my deadline? Hell no. Sorry, Bailey. I won't be able to keep you company. Because I have to finish this thing. And for that, I'll need a whole hell of a lot of espresso. Are you sure about that? You really should just rest. Get something to help you sleep. Espresso! Please? Where is the recipe for the bedchamber? That's milk, cinnamon, and honey? Okay, milk, cinnamon, and honey. I'm not brewing you espresso. You need rest. You come in looking like that. Here you go. Dude, this isn't even coffee! Drink. But this isn't what... Drink? Okay. It's on the house. It better be. Ugh. How was the meeting? It was pretty good. I got a lot of good advice. But that also means things, and not a small number of them, mind you, need to be rewritten. Oh. Oh. It's not that bad. Rewriting is part of the process. It's just that... I'm going to my usual corner. Although, thanks to your drink, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to stay awake or not. She looks horrible. She does. But don't worry about her. She'll finish it. This isn't the first time she's acted like this. No. But this time, the stakes are pretty high. So, what brings you here today? I'm not even sure myself. I had no plan tonight, and this place just came to mind. Out of the blue. I'll have to thank your subconscious then. I guess you should. Oh. Well, hello there. Not sure whether I should thank it or not, though. Hi, Lua. Hi, Bailey. How? Oh. You first. I was just going to ask, how are you doing? I'm fine, thanks. How about you? I'm good, yeah. I think I need to order something first. Oh, of course. Go ahead. Hi, Ninja. What are you having this evening, Miss Lua? Gingerbread coffee, please. I have ginger latte, but I don't think I have gingerbread coffee as a... It would be under coffee. Well, I know it's not coffee ginger milk or coffee ginger. So let's try coffee ginger cinnamon. That feels gingerbready to me. Hey! Got it in one! Oh, you know what? I could have told you that it had cinnamon in it because it was from one of the earlier loading screens that we had. Where I said it looked like it had brown sugar in it and cinnamon. Because those are definitely cinnamon sticks. Coffee ginger cinnamon. There you go. Here it is. And according to Brewpad, it is sweetened with brown sugar to satisfy the Cookie Monster. That's where the brown sugar was coming from, was the loading description mentioned brown sugar. And I put brown sugar question mark, because brown sugar's not exactly an option. Thank you. My grandma used to make this drink for me. It reminds me so much of her. It reminds me of when I was growing up with my family. How's work? It's going pretty okay. You? I'm not taking any new jobs on at the moment. Because, well, you know. Yeah, I get it. You have enough in your savings, right? That's a very Lua thing to ask. But yeah, I do. Thanks to that last annoying job. It went well in the end. It kinda did. They paid me on time at least. And the pay was amazing. How long are you planning to take a break for? I don't know. Until my problems are settled, I guess. And what problems are those? I'll tell you this. But don't tell anyone, okay? Not even Ninja, who's standing in front of us? Not even Ninja. Okay. So there's this girl. I love her. We've been going out for a few years, but I'm not really sure where we stand now. How can you not be sure? We had an argument about a week ago. It wasn't anything new, but somehow things escalated uncontrollably. Why is that? I assume both of us were just tired, knowing that we're fighting against centuries of tradition. We haven't really talked since our last fight. Leaving things unresolved is not a good idea. But I can't bring myself to start the conversation. Why? Even I'm not sure about that. Pride, maybe? Or tiredness? Not knowing that, or knowing that chances are we won't be able to find the best solution for everyone anyway. Baileys, I have a question. Go ahead. What do you think she's feeling right now? To be honest, I don't know. She's not like me, that's for sure. Thankfully. Why? At least it won't affect her professional life that much. I'm glad I'm a freelancer. It means I can just take a break from work without so many problems. I'm not as professional as her, you see. I think you're wrong. Really? If I were her, I would find it difficult to live life as usual. But I'd put on a lot of masks, just to hide the feelings I was going through. That sounds difficult and uncomfortable. It is. But a friend told me once, you gotta do what you gotta do. He must be a pretty cool guy. He is. What's next for us, Baileys? I don't know, Lua. I met some new people this week, including that supermodel. You knew. That girl in the corner told me. Yeah, including that supermodel. And how does that make you feel? Like a fool. What? He said a lot of things that I've been trying to avoid thinking about, a lot of truths. He's a bit like you know, attitude-wise. You'd get along with him. Doubt it. Opposites attract, but similarity breeds contempt. Ever heard that before? A lot. From a certain hipster elf. And after listening to that guy, what's your stance on? You know, us. I'm not sure, Baileys. What about you yourself? Had any similar experiences this week? I have, in fact. You met a vampire, and I met a werewolf. Hee. What? Hey! Thanks for the follow, Midnight Guardian! Welcome to the channel. It's always nice to see a new face. What are the odds? What are the odds indeed? What did your werewolf say? Not much, to be honest. But he made a good point about the importance of family. Baileys. I know, been stubborn about you wanting me to make peace with my family. And I know why that's very important for you. But Freya said something that kinda hit me hard. What was it? I was just using you as an excuse to escape my family, when I actually want to do that anyway. For myself. You know me, Baileys. I do? And you know how I feel uncomfortable with people leaving their families. Which makes me a jerk, I guess. I get why you think that way, Lua. Blood is thicker than water. What should we do? Lua... Yes, Baileys? Please let me leave my family. I'll try to get your family to accept me. That sounds like the easier thing to do after all. But you'll lose your immortality. You'll be an outcast among other elves. An outcast from a bunch of overly pretentious people? Sounds great. You'll live a long time, but you won't have the perfect health and perfect life that's the elven privilege. But it's not a perfect life without you. What if our relationship doesn't last? You'll have lost everything. You'll blame me. Lua, I will never blame you for anything. If we're talking about who I used to be, that guy would never have blamed himself. 100 reasons for why something failed, but never anything to do with him. But that won't happen with us. You know why? Because I've learned so many things by being with you for 10 years. It made me a better person. So you don't need to worry about any of that. Because right now, you're the most important part of my life. I don't need an immortal life. Because without you, it won't be a life worth living. Baileys, I believe in you. Hey! Love of my life achievement. We did it. We brought them back together. Lua... Baileys. I feel like we're living in a soap opera. It seems so. So what's our plan? Tomorrow's Saturday. Are we going on a date? I'm going to my parents' place. Oh. And I want you to come with me. What? That's so sudden. Did you already have plans for tomorrow? Well, no. I'm not prepared to meet them. You'll be fine. You don't want to tell them about this first? It'll be all right. Well, they never forbade you from dating other races. They're not big fans of elves, that much is true. But you can prove them wrong. Okay, this could be a good first step. It is. It's set then. I don't know what'll happen tomorrow. But we can think about it. And anything else later. I'm with you on that. So, does that mean you don't mind me? I had my doubts, but now I'm sure I can trust you. Lua, thank you. Are you still staying at Feren's house? Yeah. You're staying with me tonight. Huh? What about your roommate? She's away for the weekend. Hold up! Hold up! Hold up for a moment. Are you roommates with either Aqua or Myrtle? Was that something that was already stated, but I forgot? Taking a long weekend getaway until Sunday night. Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like it's one of those two, because that's what those two are doing for this weekend. Fate is on our side, it seems. Hey, Ninja. Yes? We're leaving. Thank you so much for keeping up with us this past week. The pleasure was mine. We're off then. See you. Thank you for coming. Well, their story's now resolved. I feel like we're coming to conclusions on some of these plot lines. That was pretty intense. Oh, you're back in the real world. I just pretend not to notice. They're like one of the main reasons why I'm writing this story. So I have to see their struggle through till its end. It's important for the writing, you know. That's cold. What? It's not like that. It's just that... Yeah, that was cold. I'm sorry. You look better than before, though. For now. I can't tell you how I feel until it's done. And I don't... Alright. Who's here? Oh, Galahad! Gala! Tea Milk Ginger! Whoa! Freya, get over here. This wolf! Is that him? I think so. Welcome, sir. Are you crazy? You can't treat a werewolf in a fury like a normal customer. Trust me. He must have his reasons for coming here. You can relax, sir. Do you need anything? Something to calm you down, maybe? Yeah, let's Galahad this man. Tea, milk, ginger. Order up, Gala. Gala had a fit. Achievement. Here's your... And he's gone. What the hell? Is that really him? After seeing the reaction to the drink, 100%. Well, whoever he is... This place survived. Thankfully, yes. But I think I need to close up shop early. Don't want to cause any more ruckus. And I need to clean up some of the mess anyway. Good idea. Can you get back all right by yourself? I'll manage. Take care on your way back. You be careful too. See you tomorrow. See you. Well, that was interesting. Oh, this is a tea yeah, it looks like green tea that I haven't made yet. What is this called? Shin Maicha. Variation of Japanese brew, mixing brown rice with ginger. Looks like green tea and ginger. I'm not sure what else would go in that combination. Well, I'm glad that you could make it here in time to see that all go down. Midnight Guardian. Werewolf comes in, has a drink, leaves. Avoided tragedy. Alright, what's today's headlines? Coachella 2020 do's and don'ts. Atlantic ambassador in talks with the Fire regarding immigration. And Weirdstein Company criticized for unfair depictions of werewolves in their latest box office hit. Werewolves have it rough enough. They don't need more on their plate. Oh, I forgot I had a different tea for my backup cup. This one's mint. Very nice. Welcome. But before you come in, I got the last note from Gala. Let's see. Favorite things, food, anything warm made with ginger. Metal Maiden. Yeah! Full Metal Jarhead. So we've got Iron Maiden, Full Metal Jacket. I'm trying to heal myself by helping other people heal. I think I already had all this information. It's just the bar was the third bar got filled in. And now it's literally just Rachel's the only person I don't have fully filled in. I hope I didn't like miss the chance for her last bar, and I hope she's in the last few days here. Speaking of, it is the 12th day. Before we even invite somebody, and let's... Oh boy, this one's barely shorter than the last part. This is going to be another 20 minutes of just reading. Happily Ever After, Ever After, Ever After, Part 2. It doesn't happen the next time Romeo and Juliet meet. When Romeo sees her, he knows something isn't right. After that, each time he sees her, he feels uncomfortable, almost afraid. Our hero isn't scared of much, but he can't explain how she makes him feel. as though she's surrounded by a fierce, powerful aura that keeps him from approaching. It takes a few days for whatever it is to fade. When that sense of danger finally eases up, Romeo finds he has the courage to approach her. Cunningly, he waits until the end of night class, when both of them are ready to go home. Hey, Jules. Are you heading back? Let me drive you home. No, it's fine. I'll just call an Uber. I have something I need to tell you, though. Her expression quickly changes to one Romeo's never before seen, an uncomfortable-looking mixture between happy, sad, and angry. He finds he doesn't know what to call it. She peers at him. What's it about? It's about, the thing I told you a few months ago. The slight smile he saw when he first confessed his feelings returns to her face. Okay, let's go for a drive. I know a good place to talk. Juliet directs Romeo sporadically, and they chat normally to fill the intervening time until they reach what she reveals to be their destination, a large, dark, empty park. Huh? I didn't know there was a park around here. You know nothing, Romeo. Hey, what? You don't... You said you don't read or watch Game of Thrones. She side-eyed him. It's all over the internet, my dude. Good point, well made. Our heroes climb over the locked gate and meander slowly along the paths until they find a bench, and an unspoken decision has them both sit down at the same time. By this point, it's close to midnight. The drive had been long and he'd driven slower than usual to stretch out their time together. The sky is bright with stars, while the full moon hangs heavy on the horizon. A warm and gentle breeze brings with it the scent of wet earth and green growing things, and far distant clouds tease them with the idea of rain before morning. It is, Romeo feels, perfect, as though God had created it specifically for them and this moment. So, says Juliet, lowering her gaze from the milky splash of stars above them to meet his eyes. What do you want to talk to me about? And Romeo thinks, what the hell? And jumps right in. I told you I liked you. Do you remember? Yes. It was a lie. Her eyes narrow. What do you mean? Oh, careful, dear Romeo, you should not play with a woman's heart. I still like you. I never stopped liking you. And every day I like you more, and I don't think I can go another day without telling you how I feel. Oh, I know. His jaw snaps shut, and he blinks rapidly. This is not what he thought she would say. What? Is it that obvious? No, but it was kind of easy to guess. Okay, so, yeah, there's that, and... You know, when I first told you how I felt, I thought it would help me clear my head. I wanted it to, but since then it's haunted me. Why did I want that? I think of you, and I want to see you, I see you, and I want to talk to you. He continues, laying bare all the things he's been thinking of these past few weeks, culminating in an impassioned plea. I know it probably won't end well, but I want to be with you. I want us to try. Juliet takes his hand and squeezes it, feels the tremble in his fingers, and says nothing about it. Romeo, I like you, she begins, and his heart near bursts. I like you a lot, and not only as a friend. But you know that, with our backgrounds and our families, it's impossible for us to be together. I know that, Juliet. I know, but still, I really like spending time with you. Whenever I talk to you, I feel so happy and so scared. Why would you feel scared? Because I don't want you to say anything that will make you think less of me. I want to look perfect in front of you, even though whenever we're together, it feels like I can only show all my imperfections. Hey, nobody's perfect. They sit quietly for a moment. Still holding hands, Romeo stares at their intertwined fingers while Juliet watches the breeze ripple through the trees. It still feels weird, our heroine muses, almost to herself. You told me that you liked me, and I thought it could never work, and then you said the same, and I was disappointed, somehow. And now here you are telling me to forget about the rules, and I'm the one saying they're important. Oh, tell me about it. I don't even know where this is all coming from. You don't like what I like, and I don't like what you like, and please don't get me started on the fact that your favorite book is the single worst thing I have ever read. Huh? You mean The Secret? Yes, oh god, please let's not talk about it now, okay? She tilts her head back and laughs, and Romeo remembers that he used to hate that sound a long time ago. Okay, let's not talk about it, but if you know that a relationship won't go well, why do you keep telling me how you feel? Why don't you just try to forget me? I've tried, he sighs, squeezing her hand gently. But every conversation with you is enough to make me remember that you mean so much to me. You don't listen to explosions in the sky, but you're what I think of when I do. When I do. You don't play video games as much as me, but you on my team is what I want the most whenever I play a multiplayer game. We pray to different gods, but your face is the one that appears whenever I pray for a good future. Juliet doesn't say anything. She just looks into his eyes while listening to everything he's been keeping in his head and his heart for a long time. Before this, I always thought that when I fell in love with someone, it would be a person that I wanted to grow old with. Do I want to grow old with you? No, I don't want to do that. But do I want to be with you, here in this moment, stuck in eternal limbo, in an infinite loop of this exact hour, forever? Hell yeah, I do. Neither Romeo nor Juliet speak for some time after that. They just keep staring at each other. They don't know what it is, but they surely feel something strange, something magical is happening between them now. A delicate thing which twists in the air around them. Oh, young and oh so fragile. Do you love me? Juliet asks quietly. I'm not sure, Romeo answered. But if it's not love, then I don't know what it is. But if it is love, why don't you want to grow old with me? Because it is just love. You're such a weirdo. I don't know why I ever fell in love with you, says Juliet. Right at that moment, Romeo feels joy in his heart, a tsunami of happiness sweeping through his body, destroying all the baggage that has been messing with his head and heart for so many months. But then reality hits as suddenly as the joy. Everything happens in a single instant. In just one moment, Romeo feels the greatest happiness and the greatest sadness he's ever felt in his life. Hey, I might not be worth you sacrificing everything, especially your family. But if love is really that special, then maybe it will grant us a chance. Another chance to be together. Even though maybe it can only happen in another life when we are both cats, says Romeo. Is that... Did you just quote Vanilla Sky at me? I can't believe you did that. That's hilarious that you said that. You know I hate that movie. It's a great movie. How the hell did we manage to fall in love with you again? Both of them start laughing together, continuing until all the laughter drains into simple smiles. A simple, beautiful curve on the lips that shows a deeper meaning only for the two of them. I love you, says Romeo. I love you too, I guess, answers Juliet. They sit closer. Now, while holding hands, Juliet pulls her head, or puts her head on Romeo's shoulder. Is it worth it? She asks. For now, right at this moment, it's totally worth it. But whether that feeling will last as time goes by, as more people find out about it, I don't know. Juliet sighs quietly. Life is the worst sometimes. Life is the worst most of the time. That's why I want to make this moment last forever. If that's even possible. It's possible if we believe it. Is that what that weird book taught you? Laughs Romeo. Juliet pinches his hand. They stay silent again for a while. Hey, kiss me. The words come from Juliet. Romeo doesn't know how to react to that. Why? He asks. I've heard people say that a kiss is a magical thing. It can stop time or take you to the future in an instant. I've heard that story. Always thought it was silly, though. The situation we're stuck in is pretty silly too, you know? Good point, he allows. Well made. So... They stare at each other. As they lean in, they close their eyes. When their lips touch for the first time, it's the strangest sensation ever that either of them have ever felt. Everything feels so magical. It feels as if time has stopped only for them. As if they're in an infinite loop of that exact moment. To be continued. So I'm starting to think that the happily ever after is Freya's book. Because she's been fired from writing for the paper. At least that was the implication. And these are a lot longer than her short stories that we've been reading. Anyway, 2 hours into the stream, I better start up this day. Hey, Ninja! Good evening, Freya. You look very cheerful today. And it's all thanks to you! What did I do? I finally got a good night's sleep last night. Like, I slept like a log. A proper 12 hours of closing my eyes and not thinking about anything. Good for you. You really needed that. I know. But I had the deadline coming, and I've been pushing myself to finish this draft. A bit too much, I guess. So, how's it going now? You won't believe this. I probably will. But when I woke up this afternoon, the words just flowed through me like water. And not forced, like I've been writing recently. And that's why taking a break is important. Yeah. You don't need to start lecturing me now. So, what's your plan now? Now, as in right at this moment? I'm planning to go to the bathroom and wash my face. And after that, I'll continue writing. Sounds like a solid plan. You know where the restroom is. And then the next day... No, I'm just kidding. That would have been the shortest day and the longest story to go with that day. Okay, I need something to drink now. Freya, you're unemployed. Don't waste your money on coffee shop drinks. That is so weird, coming from the coffee shop owner. I know. You've been a regular for years. If you only need the vibes of the place, just right here. No, I can't do that. You don't have any customers tonight. What would I do if this place went bankrupt? That won't happen. How can you be so sure? Just take this tap water and go do your work, okay? But... See? There's a customer coming right now. So, don't you worry about me. Oh! Hey, Gala. You're looking a bit less, hairy today. Did you have a good yesterday? Hi, Gala. What's wrong? I know you're a man of few words, but this is maybe pushing it a bit.
Freya, Ninja, I'm truly very sorry for what happened yesterday.
Gala, hey, it's all right. No one got hurt, right? And the coffee shop's fine. Don't think about it too much, Gala. Like Freya said, no casualties and no problems with the coffee shop.
I still need to redeem myself for the mess I made and the scare I gave you. I'm sure there's something I can do.
Why don't you buy something for the lady here? I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Hey, what do you mean?
You want anything to drink, Miss Freya?
No, it's all right, Gala.
I insist.
You don't have to.
Please accept it. At least it'll help me stop feeling so guilty, at least a little.
All right. I wouldn't mind a coffee. Not an espresso, mind you. Something with a little less of a kick. You know how to make sugar and spice? The one with cinnamon? Yes. A cup of sugar and spice, please. Okay, I don't think I have this. But she said it's cinnamon and coffee. So there's only so many combinations you can do with cinnamon and coffee. And it's not ginger cinnamon, because that's the gingerbread coffee. Well, coffee is the base. I guess honey is what says sugar to me. Sugar and then spice would be coffee, honeyed cinnamon. That's my best guess. Hey! Good grief, I'm out of pad spot. Coffee, honey, cinnamon. Got it in one. Sugar and spice for the lady with the vice. Spicy, sweet, and natural bliss in a cup. Hey! Oh well, I won't complain. Thank you, Gala.
Don't mention it. Ninja, are you sure there's nothing I can do for you?
You don't have to do anything, Gala. It's fine. But to be honest, I'm curious. What happened yesterday? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you usually stay indoors during the full moon, don't you?
I usually do. But there was an emergency at the hospital yesterday.
What kind of emergency?
The hospital was really packed yesterday. After that announcement.
Announcement?
The one saying that a replacement government-issued Fury sedative will be available soon. Releasing that news on the day of the full moon was just the worst. Extremely foolish. Oh. So many restless werewolves came, asking about the sedative, which isn't ready yet.
But the announcement said it wasn't ready. Just that it was coming soon.
You'd think people read the whole article. They only saw the headline or glanced at it at a news stall. Then they went straight to the hospital. I don't blame them, though. Finding out that the only publicly available sedative is dangerous, it's difficult for some people. I ended up having to explain it to a dozen werewolves. To dozens of werewolves. I even had to put some rogue werewolves in the isolation rooms.
It wasn't that bad, or it was that bad, huh?
Yeah, to the point that we ran out of rooms to put them in. That's why, at the end of my shift, I left immediately. Normally, I'd have asked a friend to lock me in one of our isolation rooms, of course. But I couldn't, so I rushed right back to my apartment. But I was too late. Thankfully, I was in this area, and I managed to force myself to come to your place.
Gala, excuse me for asking this,
Yes?
but you didn't hurt anyone on the way here, right?
As far as I remember, no. And I didn't see any blood on my clothes.
That's good to hear.
It might sound overly confident, considering what happened yesterday, but I have enough control to make sure I don't hurt anyone. As long as I have something to direct my fury towards. Usually I end up destroying stuff around me. Or worst case, hurting myself.
Hence all the bandages. Yikes. Despite all of that, still glad that no one got hurt. Anyway, always looking for the positive side, aren't you? Just doing my job.
Thanks, both of you. I really mean it. But please, if there's anything I can do to pay back... if there's anything I can do to help, please don't hesitate to ask me right away.
Will do.
In the meantime, can I order a drink?
Sure. What are you having?
Same as yesterday.
That's one Galahad. That's a tea, a milk, and a ginger. Seems that Gala had what Gala's having. A Galahad. Here's your special brew.
Thank you. The drink that saved me. Once again, thank you for helping me find this drink.
By the way, Gala, now that you can be 100% sure that that drink is your natural sedative, why don't you put some of it in a bottle to carry it with you everywhere?
That's the plan. It has to be warm, though. I can use a vacuum flask, I suppose. I'll give it a try next full moon. Don't worry, Freya. I'm going to stay at my place for the next full moon. I'm not taking any risks. Before I can make sure how effective that remedy is.
Whew. What the? Rachel? What's going on? What else? Your father? Of course. What the hell was he thinking? Coming backstage at Coachella? Just to get into an argument with my manager. Huh? Before we continue, Ninja, a cafe latte, please. Ooh, cafe latte. Haven't made that in a while. I have made that, right? Did I just not mark it down because it's literally just coffee and milk? Coffee, milk, milk. Okay, yeah, okay. I just didn't... Coffee, milk, milk. Didn't write it down. A café latte, s'il vous plaît. Latte art. Why don't we do, little music note for the musician here. Hold up. Didn't mean to mess up my base of the note. I'm gonna make a little one over here. Invert. It looks fine enough. Just one felt a little empty. Wanted to fill a little bit more of the empty space in the cup. Here you go. Your cafe latte is ready.
Thanks.
How did you manage to get backstage? I knew it. That was the last one. Last bar for Rachel. I love my family, cats, milk, and you. I've been dancing, singing, and trying to achieve my dreams since I was 13, and I'm not stopping now. I'm surprised that there wasn't an achievement pop-up for getting full bars on everybody.
He told security he was my father, and he messaged me about coming beforehand. Said he was just going to wish me luck. So I told them to let him in, of course. He is still my father.
Cat girl! Yes! Yes, Dylan, it is Rachel, the cat girl. She has returned.
Things were nice at first. Then my manager came, and I don't know why he hates him so much. It's showbiz. I'm mature enough to know what's good or bad for me.
What happened after that?
Mr. Lester told the security guard to kick him out. He's still allowed in the festival area. I saw him in the crowds.
Did the concert go well, at least?
Oh yeah. Other than the arguments backstage, everything was great. It was the first one. I was the first one to play on the main stage. Usually no one pays much attention to whoever's on first, but there were thousands of people in the audience during my session.
Nice. So you don't need to be at the event anymore after this?
Not really. I did my stage time, and then there was this press conference after my show.
After-show press conference?
Yeah, the pre-show was done yesterday. Today was a small one. There was almost a dozen journalists who wanted to interview me. So we decided to just do a mini conference.
Good for you. You're totally back in the game, huh?
I guess I am. Thanks to Mr. Lester.
I would say it's because of you. But your manager's probably worked some of his influence too. So, why are you here?
Ugh. Because of Dad, of course. I told him to come here this evening. We really need to set things straight. He needs to stop messing with my manager so much. And because this evening is the only time we can meet, I can't go to the party Mr. Lester is hosting.
What party?
He's hosting a party for the VIPs and artists he manages at a club in Belltown.
Is it okay for you to go to the party without a guardian?
I'm 18, remember? I am an adult.
Yeah, but you can only enter some clubs if you're 21.
Not this time, because Mr. Lester's my manager and it's his party.
I'm not sure about that.
It's true.
No, I know you can do that by using his name, but I don't think he should do that with you.
Why? I'm an adult.
No, you're not, Rachel. Have you ever been to one of Lester's parties?
Well, no.
You have? Not personally. I've heard stories.
What stories?
He knows how to party.
That's good then.
That's not necessarily a good thing. Knowing how to party might mean something else entirely.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You'll find out. Especially if you keep Lester on as your manager. Personally, I don't mind wild parties. But inviting an underage person to his party, that might be a bit too far. Huh? Whoa!
Meow.
Henry! Whoa, are you okay, buddy? Somebody give you a black eye? What the...
Oh no! Dad!
What? Rachel, is that Mr. Henry?
Yes! Dad, what happened? Ninja, can you get a cup of milk for him, please?
Just milk?
Just milk.
Meow.
Right away, sir. Here. Knocks it straight over and licks it up from the counter. Oh, poor Henry.
Thank you. Dad, please hold on. Can somebody help me call an ambulance, please?
They're on their way. I've contacted the hospital.
Thank you.
I've also contacted our Nekomimi expert personally. She's off shift right now, but she's also on the way.
Thank you so much. I don't know what might have happened without your help.
Don't mention it. Here they come. I'll go with you.
Okay.
Good grief.
Oh boy. That was really something, huh?
Yeah, you're telling me.
2 days in a row? An emergency at your place.
Well, at least some people think of your place as their go-to when they need help. You're right. It's not every day you look at things from the bright side. Heh. Well, I'm one of your coffee shop disciples, right? So I kinda understand them. I hope Henry's alright. Me too. Henry did not look like he was doing pretty fine, but I'm sure he's in good hands. Yeah, at least he's in good hands now. What's your plan for the rest of the night? Well, that was pretty hectic, but I need to continue writing. Take your time and, place then. Will do. Bedchamber, yeah, I've got the recipe for that. Milk, cinnamon, honey. Cup for those longing for a deep slumber. I believe, if I've been counting correctly, this is day 13 of 14 total days. So we've just got 2 days left. October 4th, 2020. What's today's articles? Fight broke out during Coachella, culprits in police custody. Yeah, Georgie, can you tell us, like, what's going on? Despite the arrests, Coachella will go on. Police raid on private Coachella after party is biggest drug and sex-related bust of the year? I'm thinking that's the party that, our cat girl narrowly avoided getting pulled into. That's some intense articles. Whew. Welcome! But first... Okay, good. This one's even shorter than part 2. Still one of the longer pieces overall, but... Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, today's the 13th day. Okay. Happily Ever After, Ever After, Ever After, Part 3. Romeo comes awake with a gasp, his mind already whirling as he tries to make sense of what's happening. Was it just a dream, he thinks? Please, forgive him, dear readers. He's barely awake. He has no idea how or when he got home, but he's still wearing yesterday's clothes, and he experiences the unwashed, uncomfortable feeling that comes with waking after falling asleep fully dressed. Then he remembers. Juliet! What happened to her? He rifles through blankets and pockets until he finds his cell phone and immediately fires off a message to her. He won't admit it. Will barely remember it through the haze of panic, but he spends the next 14 minutes and 10 seconds staring fixedly at it until it vibrates in his hand, and he drops it to the floor. Romeo! Juliet's voice is muffled by the carpet, but he doesn't think he's ever been so relieved to hear it. Where are you? Are you all right? I'm fine. What about you? I'm okay. We need to talk. Something's definitely different. Romeo opens his mouth to agree before he even realizes how he feels. He's been so weighed down by his feelings for so long that he hadn't noticed that something changed until Juliet brought it up. Waking up has been bad for so long, but today he felt different. Today, he feels good. When Romeo arrives at the coffee shop, Juliet is already there. She waits while he orders an Americano, patiently sipping her orange juice until he joins her. So, Romeo says, as he seats himself opposite Juliet, what happened last night? She shrugs, shakes her head, a picture of honest confusion. I'm not sure, but I felt kind of light when I woke up this morning. Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. I feel like a part of me is missing. She nods in agreement, and they're quiet for a time. Juliet plays with her straw, the paper melting quickly in the icy remnants of her drink. She trails off and tries again. Do you actually remember what happened last night? Kind of, Romeo frowns and grimaces. I'm not sure, though. How do you feel about me now? Asks Juliet. He pauses to consider. I don't know. I still like you. A lot, in fact. But it's certainly a different kind of feeling to the last few months. That's exactly how I feel. He sighs explosively. What the hell happened? Juliet leans in, holds his gaze, lowers her voice. I'm not sure myself, but I have this theory. Maybe, and I know it sounds wild, but hear me out. Just maybe the parts of us that fell in love with the other somehow left us last night? They separated themselves from this world, making their own, where time loops an exact moment over and over and over again. Romeo looks her in the eye without blinking for a long moment, then bursts out laughing. You're a complete mad woman, you know that? That's just... You're not even the one who likes sci-fi and fantasy. Oh. She huffs at him and crosses her arms as she leans back. No, seriously. He waves a hand at her. The fact that that theory came out of your mouth is crazier than the theory itself. Her lip twitches, and she's laughing with him. And for a glorious moment, the air is filled with pure and uncomplicated good humor. When the laughter winds down, they each find that they can't stop grinning at each other. And it's beautiful and just like it used to be. A thought occurs to Romeo. He opens his mouth, and Juliet immediately points a finger at him. He closes his mouth, but keeps grinning. Hands held up in surrender. You can't say it isn't possible, though, she defends herself with a wry shrug. Romeo tilts his head. Nothing is impossible. So what now? What now? What? I mean, what happens to us now? He looks around and shrugs. We just live normally, I guess. It's been months, if not eons, since I could talk to you normally like this, and honestly, it feels awesome. She laughs. It's so much easier than it has been in a long time. Yeah, I know. She smiles at him. So we're good then? We're better than good, I guess, answers Romeo. Good point, Juliet nods. Well made. After that, life goes on for Romeo and Juliet. They're still good friends. They both found their loves and the one who shares their interests that doesn't force them to sacrifice too many things in life, yet still makes them feel like the happiest person on earth. They grow old together as good friends, not as lovers. And what about Romeo and Juliet, who burn with love for each other? Readers, I'll tell you, that couple is still sitting on their bench in the park on that clear and perfect night, and they'll stay there until the end of time. They've created their own world without other people meddling, judging, forcing compromises. For the rest of eternity, they'll have each other and their pure, naive, young love, and nothing will ever change that. Some people say that on a clear night, with the promise of dawn rain, when the Milky Way flows across the sky and the full moon hangs low, you can see a young couple sitting on a bench in the park. But only out of the corner of your eye, and only if you've room for romance in your soul. Is it true, you ask me? Does it matter? I reply. Surely it doesn't matter to anyone else on Earth, and it certainly doesn't matter to them. That was pretty satisfying. I'll take that. Alright, now somebody came in while I was reading my story. Welcome! Hey, Pop!
Good evening, everyone. Everyone safe and sound tonight?
So far, so good, officer. With the cop who's supposed to be watching this area hanging out in a coffee shop? I'm not so sure about that.
Hey, I'm working right now. I just love multitasking, you know? That requires skill.
Taking a break and working at the same time, you mean?
You know it.
That's an oxymoron.
That's why I said it requires skill. Anyway, Ninja, I really need an espresso to keep me awake tonight.
You got it, buddy. One espresso coming right up. Social media fever? Was that the trigger for getting all of the bars? It just didn't register until I gave Georgie that Robert Cop. Police Academy, Robot Cop, and Cop Story is tripping me up. I don't know if I know that one. Or at least it's not connecting with the wordplay. An energetic espresso to keep our officer upright on patrol.
Hey, you and your sense of humor. Your espressos are always out of this world. Definitely better than mine or my wife's.
It's not a competition, officer.
Ha! It is for her. She thought if she could make a better one, I'd stop coming to this place so often. That's not happening anytime soon.
So, anything special tonight?
Surprisingly, no. Gotta make sure this place is safe, though. What are you grinning about? I mean it. You were here the last 2 days, right?
Yes, I was. And some crazy things happened here. And 2 days in a row. As if the gods were trying to give me first-hand experience to use in my story.
Still fretting over your story, eh?
Well, the deadline for my draft is getting nearer.
Oh, yeah? How's it going?
Quantity-wise, it's shaping up pretty well. Quality-wise, honestly, I'm pretty confident.
Best of luck, then.
Do you have any updates about the last 2 days of chaos?
For the werewolf case, I spoke to Gal about it.
What? Are you going to arrest him?
Some officers at the precinct were talking about it, but in the end, we agreed not to do it, because he really helped a lot that night. We asked the folks in the hospital, and some other people in the area. Without him, we'd have had a lot more problems. He helped a lot getting most of the werewolves safe in the hospital. Too bad he couldn't lock himself up in time. Thankfully, he didn't hurt anyone. So those who'd rather detain him can't do anything anyway.
Whew. I'd be pretty mad at you if they did arrest him.
Hey, being mad at me wouldn't solve anything.
I know. What about Rachel's dad? Any idea what happened?
I'm not too sure myself. Most of it didn't happen around here.
What?
Yeah, it seems like it happened out near Coachella.
That's a long way away. I mean, it's not actually that far. But he wouldn't be able to walk it, not in that state.
So far, that's all I know.
Rachel, update on your father. How is your father doing? Is he okay? I like Henry. Rachel! Rachel? Is Mr. Henry alright? Before that, could I have a cup of hot chocolate, dark? This is dark chocolate, yeah. This is just chocolate. That's gotta be what she wants, right? Dark chocolate. Your hot chocolate's ready.
Thank you. That's going to be fine. He woke up this afternoon, thanks to Mr. Gala.
Father-daughter, achievement unlocked.
He got help fast enough to stop things getting worse.
He's doing okay then.
It'll take a few days before he fully recovers, but no permanent injuries we need to worry about.
That's good to hear.
I know, but still, it's all because of me. Because I didn't listen to him, when all he wanted to do was protect me.
Rachel, don't blame yourself for this. Please don't take offense. But is it okay for you to leave your father alone in the hospital?
His friends are there at the moment, and I can't face being stuck in a room with a bunch of people I don't even know right now. Besides, I really need to get away for a bit. So I told Dad I'm going to visit Coffee Talk to get some fresh air.
He's okay with that?
He understands. He always does, I guess.
Miss Rachel? What really happened last night?
Dad got into a fight with some thugs. He heard them talking about me in some very suggestive, perverted ways.
Oh,
He didn't like that, of course. So he morphed into his cat form and started to fight with the thugs.
why did he morph?
So people wouldn't see what his human form looked like and link him directly to me. Some cops went to the crime scene. They found some eyewitnesses to testify, and they managed to find the thugs.
Are they fans of yours?
No, it's even worse. They work for Mr. Lester.
What?
Oh boy.
Yeah, you and me both, Georgie. We knew this was coming.
The reason why it didn't take long for the cops to find him was because they were already under arrest. Because the party went too far last night.
Whoa! How did it all connect up?
They're Mr. Lester's bodyguards. They were chilling after the show, having a pre-party before the big one. And you know about guys and locker room talk, right?
Yeah?
Well, that's what they thought. That's what they were doing. I was the topic of discussion.
Ugh.
So, there's that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And you were right about his party. I'm glad I wasn't there. Once again, I owe Dad for...
Hey, it's okay. The most important thing right now is that you're safe. And your dad made it through.
I should have listened to him. He might be out of touch, but he's still way more experienced than me. And he's my father. I wish Mom were here. She'd know what to do. She'd know what to say to Dad when he's recovered.
You know what? I'm sure you'll know what to do. You're an adult, remember?
But I don't know. All I know is I have to be there for him when...
That's it. That's all you have to do.
It might be weird to hear about it, something coming from Freya. But she is right.
Be there when he needs you, Rachel. And whenever you need a breath of fresh air, you can come here and relax for a while.
Guys, thank you. I've had enough fresh air for one day. I'll go back to the hospital now.
Thank you for the update, Miss Rachel. I wish your father a speedy recovery.
Thank you, Ninja.
Man, what a weekend.
Pretty crazy, I know. Anyway, I gotta go continue my patrol. It's been a pretty weird weekend. But overall, things are still safe around here. But even with that, never let your guard down, okay?
No problem, officer. Thank you for checking up on us, Officer Georgie.
Okay then, see ya.
Are you going to leave as well, Freya? I don't think so. I've had enough rest. And I have stories to write. You're not tired. Definitely not. In fact, I think I can get it done today. Alright. I won't bother you then. Oh, you're never a bother. Besides, this whole book project would never have existed without this place. And you. So, thank you. The pleasure was mine. Now, I'm sure you shouldn't spend any more time on chit-chat. You've got a book to finish. No problem, boss. That was a loading screen like 2 loading screens ago, though. I don't know why it gave me the same loading screen again. But you know what this means? We're headed into day 14. Which I believe I was told before I had this game. Oh, 2 weeks later. Yeah, I heard that day 14 was the final day, but I didn't realize there was going to be a time skip. It makes sense. Maybe some time for Henry to recover. He might swing by. Who knows who else will show up. Maybe everybody. Just have a big old line of every single person. So, it's Sunday, October 18th. Coachella Festival proves to be a major boost for Seattle tourism. I forgot we were in Seattle, but it checks out with how much it's just raining in the background every night. More women have spoken out and claimed Morse Lester lied. Cool. Initial reports indicate possible herpes outbreak at Coachella. Well, that's not great. Tourism boost. Lester was a bad guy, and maybe this isn't the best thing for Neil to study. Hey, that's a lot of faces. Hello! You're finally here. Hey, y'all. Hey.
Yo.
Hi, Freya.
Huh. Someone's feeling happy today.
Of course.
Did they...
They approved it. We're so happy for you.
Congrats.
Oh my. Do you know how happy I am?
Judging from your expression, I'd say somewhere between ecstatically and rapturously.
You're right. Oh my god.
How did they react to the draft?
Surprisingly,
they liked it. That's amazing.
I know, right?
I couldn't believe it either. They told me if the book sells well, they'll definitely sign me for a second book. I'm so happy for you. Anyway, whatever happens with the book now, I can take things a little slower. Because they gave me a year to finish it. With a feedback session every month. Sounds professional enough. Of course. They are the biggest publisher around. Enough about me. How's the coffee shop been doing? It's been great. Had a lot of new customers lately. And some old-timers, of course. I heard Hyde's back from his trip to Korea. Yeah? He brought us some gifts back. He didn't get any for me? I'm not sure. But he did say he always gives gifts directly. Gift giving the old-fashioned way, huh? How about you? Things are great. Last time I saw you was before your mini break? Yes, we decided to go to Coachella. Wow.
The event was a mess.
Yeah, 3 hours at the festival was enough for us.
So, where did you go after that?
We ended up in Port Townsend.
How was that?
We enjoyed it. Never knew a historical trip could be fun.
Oh yeah? I saw your new profile picture, Aqua. Ooh, new profile picture. Let me see this. There's Aqua. Goofy photo shoot. Rachel's got a nice little thing. Okay, Myrtle's hasn't changed. Hyde's is still the same. Bailey's is the same. I want to say Lua's has been this for a little bit, but it may be not. Gala's looks normal. Georgie's looks the same. Freya's is different. You both look so cute.
Oh man.
Thanks.
Was that taken during your vacation?
No. It was at Max. They had a Japanese-style photo booth there. So I forced her to take a picture together.
You were at Max too, Myrtle?
Yeah. I helped her out a bit with the booth.
Thank you.
You don't have to keep thanking me.
By the way, have any of you heard from Neil?
No.
Not me.
They did send 2 postcards to the coffee shop. Really? Yeah, one from Coachella. That's not even that far away. Why send a postcard? Hard to tell with them. What about the second one? It's from New York. What? What are they doing in New York? Beats me. Working on their mission, maybe. Huh. Yeah, probably. They'd stand more of a chance there.
Anyway, guys, we're leaving for the night.
Oh, come on. So soon?
We were here for hours before you arrived. And we need to work tomorrow.
Fair enough. Take care on your way then.
Good luck with the novel.
Thanks.
See you, Ninja.
See you around. They look happier than when I first met them. They do. It's not easy to find someone you can be comfortable with in such a short amount of time. Yeah. Anyway, sorry if it seems like I'm ignoring you, Baileys. No worries. I don't feel ignored at all. Are you by yourself tonight? No, I'm waiting on Lua. She has some work to do. This late at night? Yeah. She's been doing overtime for the past few days. How are the two of you doing? Things have been great. In fact, after 10 years together, we're finally moving in together next month. Wow, congrats! But I thought Lua lived with her flatmate. We're moving to a new place. She got promoted recently, and her company's provided her with an apartment. Wow, she must be a really big deal in her office. Well, she definitely earns more than me. That's not saying much, Baileys. You shouldn't say that to a fellow freelancer. Oh, here she comes. Baileys, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect it to take so long. I thought it would be done by... Honey, it's alright. Freya and Ninja have been keeping me company anyway. Oh, hey Freya. And Ninja. Sorry for barging in without saying hi. How's it going? I wouldn't say things are great. Or I would say things are great, but not as great as you two lovebirds. You told her already? Only about the moving in part. As you've heard, we're going to move in together next month. Where is it? Not far. I mean, the company provided the place, so they want to cut my commuting costs as much as possible. That's thoughtful of them. It means they don't need to reimburse my taxi fees when I'm working overtime. Oh yeah, that too. It also means we get to visit this place more often. That's a good point. We owe this coffee shop a lot anyway. They just all turn to be staring me down. Don't mention it. I have a question for you both. Go on. The last time we met, I believe you were going to introduce Baileys to your parents. How did that go? Man, her father didn't kill me, at least. Well, at least Papa let you eat lunch with us. That's rare, you know. I know. And at least they didn't say no, which means a lot, I guess. It was a good start. It was definitely a good start. Anyway, Baileys, we need to go now, or we'll miss the intro again. You folks are going somewhere? Yeah, we're going to watch the midnight screening of Full Metal Conflict. I didn't take you for someone who likes FMC, Lua. I don't, but this guy loves it. Hey, you always enjoyed watching me playing the game. I enjoyed watching you, not the game. Too bad I didn't introduce you to Myrtle just now, Baileys. She worked on the game. Really? Oh well, I'll be visiting this place more often. I'll probably meet her again one of these days. You probably will. Now, go you lovebirds. You don't want to miss the movie. Alright. Catch up with you later, Freya. Bye, Ninja. Enjoy the movie. There they go. I'm so happy for them. They've still got a long way to go. And probably a lot of obstacles in their path. But they're moving forward. Yes. How will you write their story? As it is. It's beautiful enough. And it has enough drama. Ha! That's one way to put it. Anyway. What's that look for? You haven't told me about any of our other friends here. How are they doing? You only skipped coming for 10 days. What do you expect? Come on, they played an important role in my writing process, remember? Well, there are some updates about the regulars. Tell me! Where should we start? Lua visits this place more often now that they live nearby. The last time they came, they were talking about catering and venues. Hyde returned from his trip to Korea and brought gifts. Some were more special than others. He said he's considering moving back to Seattle if his agency allows it. Aqua continues her work with the university. She's still working on small indie games. The difference is, she's not alone now. Neil. The only news about their superhero breeding mission are the 2 postcards they sent me. Rachel is back at the recording studio preparing for her first solo album. She found a new manager, someone who made the news as a legend coming back to the industry. And finally, Freya. She finished her book, get published and have some signature sessions. It was a massive success, sold out even after the 4th printing and might be adapted in a movie. She's working on I Can't Read Fast Enough. Missed that last line. Well, that was fun. That's also what Sage said. Yeah, that was fun. Oh. Those last 2 days went way quicker than I was expecting. Now to get you the second game. Look. I won't say no. I won't say no to free games. And I currently don't have any plans for next Saturday, so... if the game's out, I could just roll straight into it from this one. But that's your wallet. I leave that. To be honest, if you had the money, you'd get it for me because that was great. You know what? I appreciate that. Even just the sentiment of that is greatly appreciated. So, thank you, Sage. Whoa, $1.31 in the bank, and you. That's quite the balance. Oh, there's a spark. There's a post-credit scene. Hold on, everybody, pull back in. Pull back in. We've got a post-credit scene. Welcome. Hello, Ninja. Good evening, sir. Have we met before? I'm sure this is your first time here. Of course I've been here. In fact, I've worked here before. What? Wait. No way! Is that really you? It's been a while. You've changed. A bit too much. I've learned a lot about how to live with your people since then. I assume it was a success then? Multiple successes. What's with the new look then? Just trying to blend in. It seems like an Earthling immigration agency is after me. Now that you mention it, somebody did visit this place looking for you. When was that? Not so long after your second visit here. Was he a bald guy in a suit? Yes, it's Neil! It's Neil! He's a doctor now! At least that's the implication, because, I mean, I can't imagine any other aliens have worked here. Yes. That fire agent. Low-key tempted to stream the second game now because you have it on Switch. Hey, I mean, if you want to stream it, by all means. You've seen him? Yes. Thankfully, I've changed my appearance since then. By the way, you can drop the act in front of me. So, you finally noticed. To think that such power can be born from our kind. You're good with your act, though. It took a few tries. There are some timelines where I forget to pretend that I don't have some knowledge of certain stuff. Interesting. Now I'm curious to know about those mistakes. Well, it happened a few times. First, when Freya told me about her meeting in the elevator. Then it was the first time Rachel visited this place. And the last one involved you on your second visit. Huh. Oh, and there was another one right after Freya got her draft approved. Maybe after dinner, gotta prevent Tear of the Kingdom burnout. The barista has time powers. I mean, yeah, seems reasonable. Don't all baristas have time powers? Just really good at hiding it. Can't let everybody know. Hey, Dylan! You made it back for the post-credits scene. Oh, and there was another one right after Freya got her draft approved. Can you show it to me? Assuming you know how I communicate with my kind. Never tried it, but let's see. You've beaten the main story of the game, but you haven't seen everything yet. Oh, you left. Okay, you left the stream on in the background. I appreciate that. That helps me to not lose my viewer average. I need to know what happens. There's some mysteries still left hanging. And that's why there's a second game. Available now. It includes Georgie, and what I assume to be a female vampire and a male succubus. Those are my best guesses. Yeah, Sage is a great streamer. How do I... Is there a... Let's add guest. That's not what I want. I don't know how to do shoutouts. If that's even a thing I can do without an extra add-on. Manage suspicious user. That's not what I want. Blonde is a satyr. Blue is a banshee. Oh! Okay. So they're just bringing in all new races that aren't even in the first game. But when are we gonna... They mentioned dwarves a couple of times, and when are we gonna get a dwarf? I'm just saying, dwarfs have been mentioned, and yet, we never see them. The second game has a demo, so... Maybe I could do the demo. Well... We'll see what next week brings, and next weekend. But that's the end of Coffee Talk. You got the end. Thanks for coming, Moo. You showed up just in time for me to say goodbye. You enjoyed the voice acting? Thank you. I tried to keep the voices consistent, relatively speaking, between the parts. But it's a little tricky sometimes between multiple weeks to remember what was 3 hours late. It's not the best time that I'm streaming for people over in Australia. Yeah, the wrong time zone. Don't bump my headphones. Sleeping off 3 days of work in a row. Honestly, that's fair. It's under extras. So we got nice little cityscape. The cute photo shoot. Just sitting on the roof. Everybody's profile pictures. She went through a lot over the course of the game. Here we've got from the credits, 2 of them. And then Neil. It's good that Hendry's getting back in the business and that he's doing all right. You missed a good one? Yeah, this was a great game. It's got a lot of fun characters. It's not particularly long. This is the third part for the game. And I've got the first 2 parts up on my YouTube channel. But honestly, I'd just recommend it. Just sitting in a cup. Now, hang on a second. For this sketch page, who's that in the bottom right? Because we've got Hyde and Gala, Hendry, and I can't remember her name. Cat Girl. We've got the game dev duo, and we've got the Romeo Juliet couple. And then we've got the 3 individual people. You got Georgie, Neil, and Freya. But who's this? Who is this? This character didn't exist, at least not that I can remember. Is this maybe us? Or perhaps this was original design for the fire agent? I don't know. Something worth thinking about. Because here's the cast all lined up. You've got 3, 3, and 2. 3, 3, and well, this cast is missing Hendry and who else is it missing? It's got the 3 individuals. It's got the it's missing the game development duo. Okay. Who are you? Just one of the developers as an elf? That's my best guess. drawing out different character design ideas. This looks like an early, like, raw sketch for her character, compared side by side with a more developed version of Freya. The art style looks a bit off between the two. Project GTL. There's a bunch of Freya expressions. I like it. It's a bunch of different like concepts of like what do we want? Yeah, character concept and pixels and pixel. You know what? I kind of like Gala with the glasses. Either the ones on this side. But I think they picked the right call. There's different hide concepts. Hide would not be the same with like these more combed down hairs. This was previous design. Yeah, I'm glad they changed hide. Georgie, Lua. Kind of played with the outfit a little bit and the whether or not to have a bow on the tail, but a lot of the general structure, like the facial and whatever, doesn't really seem to have changed over her various designs. She's still got the beret, she's still got the same face on all of them, more or less. I mean, her face is a little more rounded on this one, I guess. Who is this? Oh, there's Gala wolfed out. Early version of Lua and presumably Bailey's. Is that like an early Freya? Maybe? And then yeah, here's the different coffee shop layouts. Alright. I feel the vibes that Cop was giving off. Cop was a great character. Georgie is the best. Spend a total of 1 hour making latte art. Trash. Total of 25. I just didn't trash enough drinks. Serve 10 correct drinks in a single session of challenge mode. Okay. 25 challenge mode, 50 in challenge mode. Unlock all the special drinks, and then unlock all achievements. Okay, so it's just literally all that's left achievement-wise for me is the challenge modes, trashing more drinks, and spending an hour making latte art. I think I did pretty good with the latte art, all things considered. then we've got some comics. I've been in front of this coffee shop entrance for so many times now. The place looks warm and cozy, but I can't seem to bring myself to actually go in. Tomorrow, for sure. What was that called? Push the limit? Blurry eyes. So many beings are obsessed with things that perish by time. Looks, wealth, relationships. After hundreds of years, what could still excite someone about life? Divorce agreement. Man, I've been stuck on this page for 3 hours now. What's wrong with me? Melody of life.
Another kid showed up in the hospital. He was only lightly bruised, but his sister was inconsolable. Still, I must have reacted too strongly to the blood.
Mommy, why is he so scary? Shh, dear, don't point. Did you see his scars? He's a werewolf.
I guess it showed.
Coffee? What could still excite someone about life? Coffee, is that your answer? Wait, missed the strong bad wolf man? Yeah, you missed strong bad as a wolf man. I feel like as I did his voice for a long enough time, it sort of shifted into its own realm near strong bad without. I guess I better go back as strong-ish man. Yeah, sort of. I've been in front of this coffee shop's entrance for so many times now. The place looks warm and cozy, but I can't seem to bring myself to actually go in. Tomorrow, for sure. I realized I didn't read, since I started reading them in the characters' voices. Needed to go back and do the first one. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I sent the latest design last night. No, that's the final. Wait, another revision? Full-time freelance life. Eerie Lemons! Oh no, don't bring Eerie Lemons into this! Oh.
Eerie Lemons.
There you go. There you go, Moo. Who are you? Oh. Wait, you're talking to Neil. You're just you're a random person talking to Neil. Got it. Be your mate? Ugh, that's gross. Get away from me. This interaction did not yield results as hoped. I may have used the wrong method of communication.
I'm home. I'm so beat.
Rachel, do you know how late it is? A high school girl shouldn't be home this late. What will the neighbors say?
I've already told you I will have lots of nights training for my upcoming debut.
As father knows best. And then overtime.
Alright, I'm done.
Myrtle, you heading back?
Yeah. It's the weekend. Get some rest.
Sure. What?
What now?
Who submitted a bug report at this hour? That was also poor Cat Dad. I know Cat Dad. Oh, I know you weren't here for it, but Cat Dad came in rough in his last section in the coffee shop. I'm glad he ended up okay. But man, well, that's the extras. I think that that's a good place to leave it, though. I didn't want to end the stream just when Moo showed up. So we were able to get some extra time out from the extras. Plus, some cool pictures. Oh, you're welcome. Well, got a lot of exciting stuff going on with Stardew Valley, so looking forward to that on Monday. But until then, take care and have a good rest of your day.